Hello, my name is Kevin Normando. I'm the publisher and co-founder of Microgrid Knowledge. First of all, I want to thank you for being a supporter of the Microgrid 2020 conference. My objective over the next few minutes is to share with you some details on how you might go about maximizing your return on this virtual platform. I know virtual conferences are relatively new to most of us, and we'd much prefer to be together with you guys in some nice hotel, but here we are in the pandemic world doing virtual events. So let's see how we can make the most of it. This is what the virtual conference platform looks like. And I'll start off by going to my booth. So just go to the directory. I'm going to scroll down to the Microgrid Knowledge booth. It's really the page. So it's okay, but we could probably make this a little bit more exciting. So let me show you a couple ways to do that. First of all, let's click on Manage. And perhaps one thing we could do to make it exciting is upload a header banner. It gives you the dimensions right there, but I'm going to go grab a header banner from our stock portfolio here. And that looks good. I'm going to upload that. So I've got a description here, but perhaps you want to update that a little bit. One thing that I might like to do, because I'm actually doing a little call to action in our description, download our media kit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the link to our media kit, and I'm going to hyperlink it right into my description. Now, you don't have to do all these things, but this just gives you a sense of how you can customize the platform. It's all about what's important to you guys. So I'm going to highlight that area, put in my link, and there we go. So now that's a hyperlink. Now you might want to add some tags about your company. Maybe you're into, offer renewables, you do energy as a service, you do microgrid controllers. Put those tags in there. It'll make it easier for the attendees to find you guys during the networking hours. Another thing you can do to make your booth exciting is to create a video link. If you check back here, I created a quick little video using my Logitech software, and I'm going to upload that to YouTube and paste it in here. I'm just having that reviewed before I do that, but I'll just show you how that works. I've got another video that we like that's in our YouTube channel. Maybe you have them in Vimeo, doesn't have to be YouTube, but whatever cloud streaming, whatever video you can link to, you can put here. Maybe it's a good way to give people an overview of what your company does and what you're about. So I've got the link. I'm going to paste it in here. Try to, there we go. And that's the link. And I'm going to save that. And now my booth looks a little bit more exciting. I've got a video kind of welcoming the folks. They can download our media kit. I've uploaded other files. You can also upload a poll. Let me show you where you can, how to upload a poll for your booth. One sec. So you go back to the Manage button, and you'll notice there's a Leads tab. We'll come back to that. There's a Visitors tab. We'll come back to that as well. But this is the Polls tab. So you would just go in here, and let's say you wanted to add a new poll. You just give it a name, call it My Poll. You can either do multiple choice or free text entry or rate something. Me personally, I like multiple choice polls. You type in your question, and then you type in your responses. And then how do you want to display that information to the attendees? I like a pie chart, and I prefer to show them percentages versus numbers. And then you can say vote or rate this, that type of thing. Then you just hit create. I didn't actually take the time to type the one up. So, but now if this is the other poll that I created. So if we go back to my organization details, down here is another, here's the poll. You can see I've already voted, but we can see how people answered the questions. just another little trick to get people a little bit more engaged with your page. I mentioned you can upload files. You can see I've got a bunch of files here. Some of them you'll notice are paper clips, others are PDFs. And let me explain the difference. A PDF might be a white paper or sales brochure that someone would download, and you're not really trying to capture their information. But let's say you did want to capture their information, even though they didn't maybe come to your booth or reach out to speak with you. There's a little trick to that. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to just delete this one and I'll re-enter it. Actually, I'll delete it from the Manage tab. So if I go over to Files, you see it says How to Partner with Microgrid Knowledge right here. That's our media kit. So I'm going to delete that. Yes. And then I'm going to just add it back in. There it goes. It's deleted. So let's say I'm going to add a new file. Instead of saying upload a file, I'm going to go to an external link. And what I'm going to do is go to an external CRM. So if you've got white papers in a white paper library on your website, you can use that. But what I would highly recommend is if you've given that white paper to Microgrid Knowledge for the Microgrid Knowledge white paper library, and you should, as part of being a partner for the conference, you can add it to our resource library. So that's another way to capture some additional leads. Just send those white papers over to Veronica if you haven't done so already. But if you're a long-term partner or partnered with us in June, we already have the white paper. Just go into our library, find the registration page URL. And if you have troubles with this, I can show you how to do that. But basically, you just go into our library, click on the asset. It'll call up the registration page. Let me just show you what that looks like. Looks just like this. Oh, actually, that's the wrong page. Sorry. Stop sharing. It looks like this page. Yeah. So you just grab the link to the registration page. I found this, I went into the Microgrid Knowledge white paper library, found this Partner with Microgrid Knowledge. I click on it because I want to get all the way to the reg page. The fewer clicks for your user, always better, right? So I copy the link. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go back over to my booth. And I'm going to paste the link in here. And I'm just going to call it the Microgrid Knowledge Partners Media Kit. Give it a nice descriptive name so they know what they're getting. And then I'm just going to hit save. Now, the advantage of this is, so I've added that new file. I'm going to go back to my organization details. And there you see, if anybody wants this attendees best practices, they can just download it and, like a sales brochure or something of that nature. But if they want this partners media kit, I want to know who's downloading that because I'm going to want to follow up with them. Now, if they click on that, that's going to open up the reg page. And because they're already registered with the conference, it just says, email me this PDF. That's what you want. So they don't have to fill out a form and they can come right back to the conference. So that's how you manage your booth and how you can use your page to capture leads. Now, during the networking hours, you want to actually run the trade show. This is another way to capture leads. This is when people actually, if you purchase a booth as part of your package during certain hours of the day, we're going to be opening the trade show. So people would come to your website. And the way you would do that is, and we're not running a booth because we're going to be managing the show. So I'm going to go over to the directory. I'll go to our first partner here who I know has got a booth. And you'll notice here, Amoresco will be having a virtual trade show. You would just click enter the virtual trade show. It's not open now because the trade show is not open, but if it was there, you would click on manage. And then What that does is it opens the Zoom client, and you can either talk to folks in a Zoom call, you can share your desktop, maybe give a little demo. So a couple little tips I would give you. One is make sure that anybody who's manning the booth downloads the native Zoom client. Just Google Zoom download. It's the first one. It's the Zoom client for meetings. And another little tip I would recommend is have 2 people in the booth. Let's say you're fortunate enough that you have a bunch of people coming to your booth all at the same time and you're trying to talk to all of them. Well, if there's a really great prospect in there, you could have your colleague maybe do a breakout Zoom room and go have a private conversation. So there's a little video that you can download that shows you a live example of how to manage your booth. And if you have any questions, do let us know. So the other question, of course, is, how do you find your prospects? So, you can sit around and wait for people to come to your booth, and that's always a good thing to do. So we'll show you how to manage that first. So let me go back to the Microgrid Knowledge booth. And again, you go into Manage, and you'll notice that there's leads. These are people that have visited your booth and having interacted with you. There you're capturing all their contact information. Then there are people who visited your booth. Now, here you're not getting all of their contact information, but because you've got these premium networking passes, you can look at somebody and say, this person's interesting. Maybe you click on, go over to this box on the right, click on View Profile, and you can look at the profile of this person. And if they look like someone you really want to talk with, you can also see which sessions they're attending. So maybe that gives you a sense of, maybe they're attending something on financing, something of that nature. So you could send them a message or schedule a meeting with them. So let me show you another way to find prospects. So let me go back to the navigation here and show you the search tool. So on the search tool, you'll see this little area called, it's under networking, find attendees. And there, you'll see there's this search box. Anybody who has the premium networking tool will have this little dot where they can do advanced searches. So let's say you really want to target people who are in the industry of healthcare. So you would just go to the Industries tab, look for healthcare, education, scientific, excuse me, and that gives you a list of all the attendees within that category. And again, you can click on their profile, and if you think, wow, this person's a manager, this person meets my profile, this person hasn't set up their profile yet or scheduled any meetings, so you could schedule a meeting or send them a message right vis-a-vis the platform. When you schedule a meeting, it not only adds it to their calendar, but it also sends them an email to their email address. So they'll really get 2 notifications. One will be in their inbox. The other will be here, which is their inbox within the platform. Another way to engage with people would be to go to them during a session. Now, we don't currently have any live sessions on the platform, but let's say you're in a session, and I'm just going to scroll down to this microgrid financing and energy as a service. When this session was live, you'll be able to click on this People's tab, and you'll see the people that are in the session and perhaps could go check out their profile, maybe request a meeting if they look like somebody that fits your prospect profile. Or maybe you're just following the chat and they're asking questions that you can answer. We'll answer their question. Here's the thing. A virtual event is much like a real event. If you just sit in your booth and wait for prospects to come to you, you'll do okay. But if you utilize the tools like the search tool I just showed you, or perhaps go out and find people, while they're chatting in a session or while they're attending a session that you think might give them a profile of being a prospect that would be good for you, you can reach them that way and you'll have much greater success. In terms of requesting a meeting, there's a couple of ways to do that. One of which is, and I'll just show that to you again. First of all, you'll notice you can schedule a meeting under the agendas tab. This will just bring up a meeting request. If you know who the member is, you can just type in their email address and the person will come up. And then you can add additional recipients. Maybe you want to invite your engineer to the meeting, something of that nature. When you're done, you would just choose a date and time. So in doing that, you would just click on the continue button. And this would show me the times that I'm available and the times that the person who I'm requesting the meeting with is available. So I would just look and see, oh, they're available at 10:15. The default meeting schedule is 15 minutes. You can make it longer or shorter if need be. Then you just maybe type in a name for the meeting, something like partner discussion. And then you can type in a little description so they know why you're asking the meeting, and then you send the invitation. It's really that simple. You'll find this tool is also in the networking tab. And then as I showed you, if you go back to your booth and you're looking at somebody, I'm going to just click on manage in my booth, somebody who had visited my booth. I check out Dawn's profile. I want to meet with her. I can just go right from within my booth and schedule, send them a message or schedule a meeting. So there's lots of ways that this tool empowers you to go out and meet with prospects instead of just waiting for them to come to your booth. And that's one of the beauties of the virtual event platform. We'll have several thousand people here, so there should be several worthwhile prospects. And if they don't come to your booth, go find them in search or go find them in a session and find an opportunity to engage with them. So my last tip for you is after the event, make sure that you follow up with a few of your potential partners or prospects in a one-on-one. I know this is common sense, and I know that you'll probably be taking the list that you get from everybody who attends your booth and everybody maybe that MicroKnowledge sends over to you who've downloaded your assets from our resource library, and you're going to put them in your CRM. That's great. But pick a couple of prospects that really meet your needs and follow up with them after the event. That so few people do it that way, either with a phone call or an email, not, just a real customized one-on-one. That's how you're going to make this event very successful for you. And that's what we want for you. So please know that Dawn, Veronica, and myself, we're here to help you guys take advantage of the conference. But hopefully you have enjoyed this little session, and we look forward to working with you next week and in the weeks ahead. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.